I don't know, we can get going shortly here. Throw out some shouties for other folks that were streaming today, as per usual. Sarconius is currently on, working on some Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii. Pulse was on a bit earlier, doing Kirby, working on Kirby. Let's see who else is on today. Foxy was on, doing some. What was he playing today? I'm having a big brain fart. Yesterday he was doing a bunch of that Buck Henry game. Today he was doing
the pizza. Look at the hole. It is in the slice of pizza.
I think he's back to his request list.
He fucked this pizza. Look at the hole right through it.
Oh boy.
My God, he fucked this pizza so hard. We tried to keep him away from it, but he was too busy fucking it, and we couldn't stop him.
There's Max on pulses. Oh boy. Foxy was on earlier.
I used to get naked all the time. I like naked.
Oh boy.
Naked.
I was getting all the fun clips today. Cosmic was on this morning, doing some East 8.
I'm stuck to the wall. What the heck? Dang it.
And then Stab was on this morning, doing some Sengoku Basara. Shouty. Welcome in, Drake. How far am I in this game?
Okay, there are EVs.
You could tell. You could tell.
No Glaceon yet.
Yeah, I decided to throw up there the subset for Monster Hunter. We've been working on that off and on, and we're I want to say we've gotten most of the bosses down. We've gotten all the quests done. Now it's really just a mop up period. But there are some S ranks I got to get in some of the arenas, 2-player arenas online. They're pretty tight in terms of the timing. I've been working on those off and on with Rev and with Sark. So they rotate out which events are going, which arenas are on day to day. I think like every 2 days they rotate over on the Monster Hunter Tri private server. So that makes it a little longer in terms of getting the badge, because you can't keep working on the same thing day after day after day. But making some progress anyway. And it's also kind of slow going for getting the crowns for the largest and smallest. But it is what it is. Okay, let's pop over to our other scene and get going here. Hello, ladies and gents. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. I have been kind of lax. I didn't even have an RE review last week. My apologies on that. I've been kind of no lifing Monster Hunter, doing work and doing a lot of shiny hunting over the weekend as well over on Pokemon Rumble, and it's kind of addictive. So I wouldn't recommend it for people. I mean, it's somewhat easy points as far as things go, and that can be kind of the dopamine hit of like you get a shiny after 20 odd runs, and you're like, all right, I got a shiny, 10 more points or 50 more points or 100 more points, or whatever. But I've stayed up way too late a lot of nights doing shiny hunting. And I've stayed up a lot, way too many times doing crown hunting in Monster Hunter. But you kind of have to pick your poison, because with Monster Hunter Tri, at least, it's like you kind of want to play while others are playing. So now's Now it's kind of that golden time when Graham's on it, when Rev's on it, when Sark's on it, where we can all play together. And a month from now, a lot of Graham's not going to be interested in playing a month from now. He's going to be done. Rev's probably not going to be interested in playing a month from now, so on and so forth. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, we're all enjoying the Wii event, maybe a little too much, but hey, welcome in everybody. This is the Retro Achievement Review. This is where we talk about retroachievements.org, which I will link for the duration as usual here. Throw that up for the night. And Retro Achievements is basically like you have your Xbox achievements, you have your PlayStation trophies. There's a group of people that have dedicated their time. Hey Draco, thank you for the subscription. Really appreciate it. Gonna have to do a video on RA with Mistress soon. They got hardcore mode set up. It's really neat. Awesome. That is awesome news, sir. Appreciate the continued subscription, Draco. You don't have to do that, but I do appreciate you. Welcome in, sir. Hope your night's going great. I was just doing my usual spiel here of introducing, what are retro achievements. Retro achievements are, like your Xbox achievements, like your PlayStation trophies. It is basically achievements for retro games that you can earn with playing compatible emulators and, ROMs and things. And you basically go to the site, set yourself up a profile, much like you have your platinum trophies. Here on Retro Achievements, you have badges. Some of them have pretty cool art, but every time you complete all the achievements or challenges for a given game, you can get a badge, a neat little badge on your profile. It's pretty cool, but you would basically, if you want to join, you go to the website, you create yourself a profile, a name, etc. You grab the depending on what types of games you want to play, you grab your emulator of choice that's compatible with Retro Achievements. You log into your Retro Achievements account, toss your credentials in there, and then you start playing games. And we have compatibility all the way back to some of the late 70s systems, like the Fairchild Channel F, Magnavox Odyssey, Arcadia 2001, Elector Games Computer, some of that stuff, all the way forward through the NES, the Famicom system, disk system, the Sega Master System, SG-1000, PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine CD, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, through the forward through PlayStation, PlayStation 2, GameCube, and now Wii as of this year. And we had a launch event for the Wii that started about a month and a half ago to 2 months ago, something like that. It is going to be ongoing until about the middle of July, and that's pretty cool. We've all been playing a whole lot of Wii games on account of that, and it's pretty neat for a lot of us that kind of missed the boat on when we came out. So yeah, that is what Retro Achievements is, and on this show we talk about, to some extent, we talk about new events coming up, like the Wii launch event, and we talk about we try and cover recent new sets that came out. Pretty much every day, they're coming out with new sets for various systems. Because we've had the Wii launch, we've had a ton of Wii games coming out over the last month with new sets, and that's cool. But they also released a Play Jam, which we'll talk about in a second. But a Play Jam is basically where they kind of wait to put out sets until they have a ton of them together, and then they make an event out of badging those games. And typically in Play Jams, it's like, they pick a system that they feel is underrepresented on the site, doesn't have as many games from the library, not as many games from the library have sets as they would like, and so they try and focus and put a lot of effort into releasing kind of like a second launch event in some ways. But this time around, I guess they just had a lot of different ones on the back burner, and so they released a console redux, is what they're calling this one, and that is the Play Jam Season 9 here, which is the console redux. And so they've got systems we can look at the list here for this one. They've got a ton of systems represented here. They've got PC Engine games, they've got Apple II games, they've got MSX, they've got arcade, they've got Sega CD, they've got PC-88, and it's all new stuff as of the last week or so is when this kind of kicked off. So right in the midst of the Wii event going on, we have a new Play Jam. But again, it's not one system. It's just a ton of different ones. SG 1000. So that is pretty cool. Jake says, you remember looking for games a while back and finding no sets for them? Oh yeah, there are still plenty of games that do not have sets on the site. I'd say most of the best known games for any given system, like on Nintendo, you've got your Mario games, you've got your Metroids, you got your Zeldas. Almost all of those type of games, the well-known ones, have sets. A lot of the well-known, like infamous ones, infamously hard ones, have sets, and people love to give each other, in some ways, the worst games or the hardest games to try and badge. And so you have stuff like, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, what was that? The Addams Family ones. Some of those ones are kind of infamously hard or bad, kind of bad. But we also just get a whole lot of other stuff in between. Like we get lots of Sesame Street educational games, like this one here, Astro Grover. Godzilla games. Just a variety of different stuff. So very cool stuff. But we cover, like I said, here on the RA review, we're trying to cover like last week's worth of stuff, and also we do community highlights. So let me actually segue into doing community highlights for last week. We missed out on the previous week, and I'm not necessarily going to go back to that just because we don't have a ton of time, and also it's going to be kind of the same list anyway. A lot of these folks have been really kicking butt at the Wii event. You can see Death by Chipmunk here, got 20 badges, and I'm pretty sure they're all Wii badges, or almost all Wii badges. In this is just the last week. So he's been kicking butt. Draco's been kicking butt. Draco, I should say, he didn't make it in the top 10 here, but Draco did finish out his peak streak, and he called it done, called it good enough. So he'll probably not have as many badges per week, but he'll probably be working on some games that are a little higher priority for him, which I can respect. Rest in peace. No. SG-1000, cool. You one Zelda, one Metroid. A friend of mine just got a Mystery. Nice. Anyway, let's start from the top, number 10 here. So we got Necro. Necro is streaming currently. I think he's on a Mega Man kick, so he's playing a bunch of Mega Man games. It's very cool, very classic series. Lots of good stuff in there. But as of last week, most of his stuff last week was I think he's actually been done with the Wii games for a while. I should say he also does a bunch of wrestling. Like every Friday, he does wrestling streams with where he sets up
No belts for us.
characters, and he puts together characters to represent a bunch of us streamers here in the retro community, and a lot of streamers have their own character in that, and he just kind of puts like two AI opponents up against each other and then just commentates it. Ends up being a lot of fun. Hey Knocker, welcome in, sir. Hope your night's going great. But can highly recommend Necro's streams. He's very animated, very entertaining streamer. A really fun time. Like I said, he does wrestling on Wednesdays, or not Wednesdays, Fridays. He does wrestling on Fridays, and people can also just like request special bouts throughout the week. But he also does Democracy on his channel, where he'll let his chat pick what he plays, and he'll play a bunch of different things, like 20 minutes each, 30 minutes each. You can also kind of cheat the system and buy out the night for enough subs or enough channel points, and he'll you know, play the one game for the night. He also does like subathons where he'll, you know, do a week of Mario or do a week of Zelda or something. When the subathon stuff comes up. You cleared them though? I actually think you got like a 5. You got like 3 achievements in software mode testing Mister. Okay. Commentary, CPU versus CPU. Yeah. Necro's whole wrestling shtick is pretty fun. But yeah, he's been digging into a bunch of Mega Man games this last week for Mega May. Prior to that, I'm pretty sure he's already finished out the Wii badge, the Wii event badge. Yeah, he got 20 masteries there and then 21 beats. So that would be 40 points right there and an additional 21 right there. Even not even counting bounty games. And I'm sure he did some bounty games. Pretty sure he did Twilight Princess among other things. So he's already well past Grandmaster. So congratulations to Necro. Very cool dude. Alright, next up we got Pulse XP. Pulse put together a shiny race this last weekend, which a lot of us participated in. It was pretty rowdy over there, which may not be to everybody's taste, but it was a good time overall. We each picked like 3 shinies that we wanted to go after, and Pulse put them all on a wheel, and then for each round that we were playing, you would one shiny would come up, and that was the target shiny, and you would win that round of the race if you got the shiny first, or if you got a 100-pointer in the course of that round, or failing that, whoever got the most within an hour, the most shinies, period, whether 10-pointers or 25-pointers, would win the round. And so a couple of the rounds we won by number of shinies. One of them we won by somebody got the target shiny. No, 2 of them. 2 of them were by target shiny, and 2 of them were by 100-pointers. And I ended up winning the whole shindig, which felt good, but it wasn't that like super competitive. It was mostly just us having a good time. So it was a good time. But Pulse put that together. He's been playing a lot of Rumble, of course, Pokemon Rumble, going after those shinies. He's already got 28% of the shiny set here, which is currently the largest point value set on the site. 13,000 points overall. He's been playing a lot of that. He's been working on Kirby, and I want to say he's also dipped his toes into some other things here and there. I think he was playing Scooby-Doo here with Barley. And then him, Max, and Lifted on their FPG podcast have been doing Super Mario Brothers Wii together on Sundays. So that's cool. Let me throw a shouty for the FPG podcast. That's the Fat, Black, and Greasy, where it's Max is the fat, Pulse is the greasy, and Lifted is the black.
What?
They have a good time.
Whoa.
They get a lot of good interviews within the retro community, and just overall good time.
Oh my
highly
god.
recommend.
Oh god.
Well, I say highly recommend. They do get a little rowdy at around hour 4, hour 5 podcast. I can definitely recommend the first like 3 hours of their podcasts generally. After that, they start drinking and things go a little wild. So you never know quite what you're gonna get there. But pretty good dudes overall. All right. Next up, we got Navanos. Navanos is one of the most skilled gamers on the site. Try to shout here. He's been working on Mega Man X Collection.
My stealth prototypes are in there with you.
He's got 76% of that one. Looks like he's most recently been working on Mega Man X6 in that collection. You know, that one's got some pretty rough Shivas around getting all of the Reploids in every level. I don't know, those are speed runs too, but anyway, looks like he's getting pretty far there. He's also been dipping his toes in 3D Pinball, Space Cadet. So this is a homebrew. I saw Sark was playing this also. But it's the Space Cadet game that was I think originally was on Windows, and this is a homebrew port of it to PS2. Very cool. All Reploids is smelly. Yeah. I think I remember watching either you do it or I think it was you. I think I did watch you do some of that, and it was pretty rough. Knocker here is one of another of our most talented Mega Man gamers in the community, and kicks butt, but they gave it for him. Some of those Reploid Chivos were kind of rough. Anyway, the model's also got the beat, almost the badge, on House That Did Overkill. Looks like he's got to get a run where he fully upgrades all the weapons. Working on some Twilight Princess, and he got the badge for Super Mario Bros. Wii. Especially in Extreme. Gotcha. You like homebrew parts? Yeah, I remember you and Sane got super excited over the what was it? The Genesis port of I think it was the Genesis port of Symphony of the Night or something like that. Silly things people do out there. Speaking of Sark, here's Sark. Throw him a shouting. He's currently working on some Donkey Kong Country Returns. I know he's going through some of the speedruns on that, and those are
I swear I'm using the
pretty
freaking
tough.
tongue and it. Oh
But
my
I think
God.
he'll probably get it this week, if not tonight.
I'm using tongue and it just like. He just ignores
He's
the
also been
input
going through that
every
3D pinball game. Sark's kind of the pinball master of the site. He's also, I mean, he's number one on the site overall. So he's a really skilled and patient gamer to get through a lot of things. But it looks like he's getting a lot of those shiny golds for DKC returns as well. I got Wario Land 4 badged recently. Was this recent? Yeah, or no. I guess he just booted up to play it. And then Sark has also been maybe not No Lifey Monster Hunter as hard, because he's been doing other stuff too, as Rev and I and Graham, but he's also been up really late with us doing a bunch of ground hunting and things. So I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get the badge for this at the end of the day or not, but I think Sark's probably gonna push on through to get the badge. We'll see. We'll see. For the rest of us, there's some speed runs on some of those duo arenas that are just so tight. Genesis Symphony, you have a demo of it. Oh, okay. You guys were talking about the demo, I guess. Anyway, next we got Foxy Fusion. That's what he was playing today. Metroid Fusion. I don't know why I was having brain fart earlier on what he was playing, but yeah, Foxy was making a ton of pretty quick progress
What was that?
through Metroid Fusion today.
I don't have enough time.
Got quite a few damageless bosses. GG's to him.
Wait, I do.
He also took part in our Shiny Race over the weekend, and I think he's been doing some more Mega Man
dang it.
for Mega May, but also working towards the badge, probably off stream, I think, for the Wii event. And he also started up some Zack and Wiki. I think he did that as part of his breakfast stream. On Saturdays, Foxy does breakfast streams where he'll play kind of whatever chat recommends him to play, as long as it's cartoony game. It's kind of like, you watch your Saturday morning cartoons and try out a cereal for the day, and enjoy some commercials from the late 80s, early 90s. Some high nostalgia. Anyway, good times. Can highly recommend his channel too. And GG's on all the progress. GG's on all the shinies. I know he's getting up there, 25% as well. And GG's on all the progress in Metroid Fusion, sir. Next we got Shanathon. Shanathon, I've met relatively recently. He's been hanging out with us a bit more. Saturday Cartoon Gaming, yes. Yeah. It's a good time over at Foxy's on Saturday mornings. But Shanathon here does, he's been working on some Punch Out. Was this recent? I guess this was last year. So he's been working on the bonus subset. That's cool. Yeah, looks like he's been making some progress on the bonus subset for Tyson's Punch Out. So congratulations on that. That's some pretty rough stuff. Very you have to get like perfect timing on some of those fights to get the knockdowns at the right time. Also playing some Pac-Mania, some Legend of Zelda, and some Pac-Man recently. I think Shane is also done with the Wii events. I think mostly he went for Beats. Well, now you got 14 badges and then 17 points over here. I imagine some of these are probably well, Rhythm Heaven Fever. I think that one was a bonus. I think that was a 3-point a triple bounty. I don't know if Guitar Hero was a triple bounty. I think it might have been. Let's see. Did I pull up the launch event? I did. I guess it bears mentioning that a lot of new bounties have come out. So for a variety of games that got sets within the last week or two, quite a few of them have now double bounties or triple bounties. So even more options now to get to your 50. Okay, I was thinking I keep thinking I see the rainbow there. I'm thinking it's this one, but I guess Rhythm Heaven Fever's not one. Let's go back here. But anyway, I think he's got his 50 points. Probably. Maybe he's got some of these. No, those aren't bounties either. I guess that's 14, 17, so that'd be a 31? 31 points, I think. Okay. So he's making good progress anyway, but he's back to playing a bunch of maybe user requests or chat requests. Just did some of this other stuff he's been working on. Anyways, I wonder if I got a Damageless Ganon achievement now that we know it's possible. Damageless Ganon on which game? Is that on the original or? Anyways. Next up we got Death by Chipmunk. And as I mentioned, Death by Chipmunk wins on a number of masteries this last week by far. Huge number of masteries. Sorry, I'm a shout out here. Chipmunk hangs out with us often over on Bendy's channel and on Draco's channel when we do races. That's where I met him, and pretty cool dude. He's Monster Hunted a bit with us, so on the original. Okay. He's been working on some Final Fantasy hacks. Is this recent? No, I guess it wasn't recent. We've been playing some Final Fantasy, some Gradius 3. Got a lot of homebrew badges and prototype badges. I think he's got his Wii badge too. Yeah. So that's just even discounting bounties, he's already at 52 points right there. So he is a Grandmaster of the Wii. Very cool. Next up we got Beau Mollet. Sorry, I'm not showing here. Only see a 3-heart subset. Yeah, there's I think they did break off of the 3-heart stuff into a subset. Anyway, Beau's been playing some Destroy All Humans. Got the beat for City Folk. Was this recent? Yeah, I guess that was. What kind of recent? He's been playing. He's been doing some shiny hunting. And looks like he got Urban Chaos. Yeah, Urban Chaos recently. Very cool. Congratulations on all the progress, sir. Next up we got Greninja. Greninja races with us over with Bendy and Draco. Very cool dude. He usually kicks our butt. Very skilled gamer. Pretty high up in the ranks too, and deservedly. He's been playing some City Folk. Some DKC returns, going after some of those shiny gold medals, and almost got the game badged. So congratulations on all that progress. He got Mega Man 9 badged, and he got that that Pokemon hack that we were talking about a couple weeks back. Got that one badged. So congratulations to Greninja for all the progress. He's as you can tell from both his you know, his nickname and avatar and his badge ball here, he's very into all the Pokemon stuff. So I think he was one of the ones that got me into Rumble and playing that. Him and Draco both. For better or for worse, I don't know. Next up we got Cassette Cobra. For Cobra shouting here. Cobra came in at first for last week with 2,000 points overall. And he was playing a bunch of Brawl.
What? I did 2
almost got the badge for Brawl.
What?
Also got Warrior Land 4. Was this recent? 2022.
Okay.
Oh, I guess there was a there must have been a revision. So he got a revision done. So congratulations on that.
Be able to beat that guy.
He got the beat. And almost the badge for Zack and Wiki. Which we saw Foxy playing this one a bunch on Saturday. Really cool game. It does have some maybe not the best choices for some of the sound effects. It's definitely aimed at a relatively young audience, and some of the sound choices are rather annoying for us older folk, but still a pretty cool game. Definitely has that spirit of adventure kind of thing. So yeah, that is the community highlights for last week. Congratulations to everybody that made the list. Even for those that didn't, congratulations on the progress, on all the points. Keep on achieving, folks. It's just good fun. We try and compete with each other a little bit to get on the list. But even if you didn't, yeah, congratulations on Chivos and progress and stuff. What's up, Draco? Byron? Are you mad at me for something? I know I haven't been on much today. I had to make up for yesterday. I actually worked today. I spent a lot of yesterday working on a peak streak, and didn't get a lot of real work. What is this? Ragnarok Online? Ragnarok? Oh no. No MMOs. No MMOs, sir. I'm already involved in Final Fantasy XI. It just posts for RA. We're gonna have Ragnarok Online retro achievements. Oh boy. So, in my younger days, I followed a friend around playing a lot of different MMOs, and one of the ones we stopped on for a while was Ragnarok Online, and we both got our characters up to like level 92 or 93 or something. It is kind of a terrible game. It is not well balanced at all. If you're gonna do any of the final dungeons, I hope you chose Mage. I hope you chose Mage because a lot of the classes are not viable past. I mean, they're viable. They're kind of sort of viable in a group, but yeah, it's not a well-coded game. It's not a well-put-together game. You're gonna die a lot. You're gonna lose a lot of the XP. It was not. It was one of the very, very cheap MMOs. Just, you know. Whatever. If people want to play it and earn rich achievements, more power to them. I do want to go back to Final Fantasy XI and get the badge for that eventually, but I think that's going to be it for me for MMOs. Hey Nikolai, good to see ya. Alright, well let's get into the new sets. And we got a bit of ground to cover because I missed last week. So again, I think this week we're just going to talk through stuff that got badges, and we're going to play. There's a handful that I want to try that we'll play. I'm gonna be a little picky this week. It might be kind of an abbreviated. I know I'm already kind of I kind of already started late at like 7:30 for tonight's RE review, but I do want to play some Ark Rise, so we'll talk about that one. And I do want to try out the Conan game. Speaking of which, I think Nikolai, you've already badged the Detective Conan game, so kudos to you, sir. FF11 is on your to-do list too. Playing through the new raid on 14 this week got me craving Final Fantasy 11. Yeah, it's a very different game. Like 14 was a pretty good one. I played that for a while. I think I stopped something Walker, Landwalker, Abyss Walker, something like that. One of the patches, there was a bunch of Dragoon focused stuff in it, I think. Maybe like an ice area, if I remember right. But that one was pretty cool. They had a lot of really well put together raids, really well put together fights. They were pretty tight on DPS, if I remember right. I have no idea how things are balanced now, but it was good times for when I was playing it. 11 is hugely different, as you probably already know. Two others have badged it now as of today. Oh yeah, for the Conan one. Endwalker probably, but the new expansion has a set of raids based on 11. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I want to say, I know 11 is still going. 11 is still technically going and still being maintained. I don't know how much new content is going into 11, but it's kind of crazy that they're still running 11 and they're running 14, and I imagine that they're probably trying to encourage people to leave 11 and join 14. I think they've been trying to do that for quite a while, and 11 is much more, even with all of the quality of life updates that they've done, it's still very much from that era of let's generate a world and then have players live in that world kind of mentality, as opposed to let's make a single player game that you can do a couple of things multiplayer. A couple of things require multiplayer, and there's more modern, quote unquote modern MMO design of that kind of like a primarily a single player experience. The lights are on in 11, but to your knowledge, it's not really getting expansions anymore. Gotcha. Okay. anyway, it's interesting. The back and forth between 14 and 11, and how Square Enix is dealing with that. Shadow Lord, Kirin, Alexander, Prometheus, Shenyu is really cool. Gotcha. Yeah, I would say gameplay-wise, like, FF11 is not super interesting gameplay-wise. I don't know. I went through to get to, at least through the Shadow Lord, which I guess is the main campaign. And, none of the fights, well, I guess there was one story fight prior to Shadow Lord that was kind of interesting. Shadow Lord himself is maybe, like, the first, well, maybe not the first. But, I guess I would say something that kind of struck me is 11 is much more class focused, I guess, in a way, where 14 requires everybody to contribute to DPS. 11, you really don't want to. If you're a healer, you want to just heal, because if you try to DPS too, you're gonna get aggro. And you know, you can add a little bit of like status stuff. You can do some paralysis and some other things, but by and large, you don't want to be throwing stones and too much. 11 feels like a true turn-based RPG as an MMO. You have to build up your turn basically with TP to use an ability. Yeah. 14 is much closer to the kind of ideal that people were kind of aiming for MMOs even from the beginning, where it was more they try to get it as action as possible, and I think Terra was kind of the final form of that gameplay wise. I don't think anything's quite as well, I guess there's like Blade and Sword, or I think was it Blade and Sword? One of the Chinese ones was very action oriented too, and felt much more responsive, but it was also super janky. So I feel like Terra is probably the one that's the best as far as getting close to being a straight up action RPG as opposed to like turn based, but you know, slightly more. But yeah, like Final Fantasy 11, Dragon Quest X, the original World of Warcraft, you know, the way they played was much more. It is definitely like turn-based plus, I guess I'd say, as you say. Anyway, I'm sorry for long rants. Let's get into the list here. Man, where did we even leave off last time? I remember talking about Arc Rise. We didn't play it. I remember talking about Yakuman. We didn't play it. I want to play those tonight, so we'll open up some of those. Sengoku Basara. I know Stag's been going hard on this one. This is we talked about this a little bit. I think we did talk about this before. It's basically the Capcom version of the Dynasty Warrior series. Or rather, Sengoku Basara, which started out with Devil Kings, which we had on our review many moons ago on PS2. That's basically Sengoku Basara 1 or 0 or whatever. And then this series, as it moved forwards, is basically Capcom's response to Koei Tecmo, and they are making essentially their own Dynasty Warriors games. A lot of them have a lot of overlap with like character names and things because they're actual people from Japanese history, as Fox and I were talking about last time. Pretty cool series. I don't know that I have a clear favorite between the two. I definitely enjoyed Devil Kings when we played it a bit. It was pretty cool. I didn't really dig deep into it, so I can't really make like in-depth commentary, but just, you know, playing one mission, it played good. Dynasty Warriors took a while to get good. I feel like the first, if you play like Dynasty Warriors 2, it's pretty rough. Dynasty Warriors 3 is still pretty rough. Like the concept's there, it's cool, but you know, you have to get much later on. Once you get to like Samurai Warriors, Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, which is like where they focus on Japanese history, by that point in time the gameplay is much more polished, and it's a really good one. It's like Samurai Warriors 3 on Wii is really good too. But anyway, on this one, they want you to basically as you might expect. Collect all the weapons for all the characters. Finish all the on hardest difficulty. Finish all the missions with each character. Get all the endings. Looks like the beat condition is just going to be get the regular ending with normal difficulty with each character. So that's not too crazy. Yeah, here we go. Hero story with all 16 characters. Collect all the stuff. Collect all the accessories. Get all the stage bonuses in every level. And I'm gonna take a wild guess here. Probably not super wild, but stage bonuses here are pretty similar probably to the kind of objectives over in the Dynasty Warriors games, where you have to beat get to a certain captain or lieutenant or whatever and beat them within certain times. Find different items, complete different sort of side quests within a particular, within the time of the level. Complete hero stories with any character while using only Basara, Ultimate Basara. I'm guessing your Basara arts are kind of like your Muso things. This one's supposed to be more arcadey compared to the one Foxy's playing. It definitely takes a lot more liberties. I think the Samurai Warriors games, at least Samurai Warriors 1 and 2 that I played on PS2, were pretty close. Like you had a little bit of artistic license. Whichever character you got a good ending, even if in real life they end up with a bad one. But you, at least for the most part, had the same like real battles that you were taking part in. You could potentially win a battle that you were supposed to lose, but it didn't go too crazy with artistic license outside of that. Capcom's goes really crazy. Capcom's has robots. Capcom's has rockets and robots and magic, and there's a spin-off of Dynasty Warriors called the Orochi, Dynasty Warriors Orochi, that gets a little bit more like that. But the main line is pretty straightforward historical fiction, whereas the Sengoku Basara, pretty much even from Devil Kings onward, is much more magic and monsters and mecha and all kinds of crazy stuff. So definitely a lot more artistic license in these. But anyway, here you go. Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. Let's see. I don't remember if we talked about R-Type. We played some Dragon Quest Swords before it got a set. I don't know if we looked at the set for this one. But this was a pretty cool game. You use it is very motion control heavy. You do a lot of stuff that's like, block and, counter. You slash and you can do like a horizontal slash, a vertical slash, diagonals. And you come across different groups of enemies in different formations, and a lot of the mechanic of the game is pick the right slash for the right enemy type to get through it without taking too much damage. But yeah, pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. When we tried it out, it's motion control, so it's got a little bit of jank, but it played pretty well. I would say pretty fun. I would just hope that there's not too many super crazy chivos in here about like accuracy. You do need to get S rank. I think we might have gotten an A rank just kind of playing it through casually last time. So I don't think the S ranks are probably that bad. Have to get an X rank somewhere along the way. I don't know if that's what's required for that. Maybe that's like a damage list. Get all the hidden items. Get highest rank of renown. Temper all the weapons. Get all the armor and equipment. Complete any level with 100% shield accuracy. Complete any level with 100% accuracy. Okay, so you do need to get at least one level. Aside from old reflectory. Reflectory, that might be like the tutorial. Completing the level with the poison needle. Completing the level with the Orhalcum spoon. Spoon. Cat themed sword, shield, and armor. Falcon themed sword, shield, and armor. Deathbringer Citadel. 100 hit chain without taking damage. That might be a little rough. But it doesn't seem like anything here is too crazy. I'm seeing a lot of folks are getting these S ranks. So that suggests to me that the S ranks aren't too bad. But cool. Cool. We also got I don't think we talked about these ones very much. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. No, we did talk about that one quite a bit. I remember talking about that one. Call of Duty, Boombots. We didn't really talk about Boombots or One Piece here. Boombots is an arena fighter on PlayStation. Okay, so play through with each character. Defeat each character. Bunch of achievos around specific abilities. I guess you have like a transformation, and basically a lot of these are either you're defeating them while you have the transformation on, or defeating them without ever having used the transformation. Never having more than one power bar. Defeat any opponent without taking any damage. Okay, so at least one perfect. Let's look up this one real quick. This is Boombots on PlayStation. Actually, we want to go with one that doesn't have commentary. There we go.
A book. A book. A book.
Welcome to Boombots. New game. Select Boombot. You've selected.
This definitely gives me Skull Monkeys vibes in terms of art direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Fight. Oh.
skip around, see some of the other characters here.
One. Fight.
Alright, so pretty similar gameplay to some of the other stuff we've seen. Stuff like Power Stone and Crash Bash, I think it was. Very unique looking. Yeah, kind of curious, the Neverhood. Which studio did Skull Monkeys? Just kind of wondering if this is related. It is. Okay. Same folks. Interesting. That would explain the similarities in the art style there. That's cool. That might be kind of fun. Next up, we got One Piece Unlimited Adventure. This one's action adventure, and if you like One Piece, you might check this one out. I want to say, I think Max patched. Yeah, Max patched it. Turnbuck played a bunch of it. Let's see here. Okay, so there's some deathless. There's some defeat bosses without anybody dying. So deathless for your whole team. I don't know how bad that is as far as like if it's how the team fights work. Let's take a look at this real quick. One Piece Unlimited Adventure. One Piece got a ton of as we've seen here on our review. One Piece got a ton of games in all kinds of genres. You got RPGs, you got arena fighters, 2D fighters, 3D fighters. Let's see here. I think we played one that was like a tactical RPG on it was like on Game Boy, the Game Boy Color or something.
Luffy, yesterday, didn't you? That's right! Yesterday, me, Usopp, and Chopper ate it all in an eating contest. I forgot about that. Whew. Well, that's a relief. I thought for sure someone had stolen it all. Here! It looks like Thousand Sunny has disappeared too. Guess I better look around.
Let's see some actual gameplay here.
Am I imagining things?
Oh, that's pretty rough visually. Like just texture wise, that's some pretty low res textures. Like they must have spent all their money on the license. Marines kind of sound like sheep. So kind of got some 3D Zelda-ish vibes going as far as gameplay, it seems like. Maybe a bit more, and you got like combos and things. Anyway, I think we get a sense of it. Let's see. So we do have a bunch of Deathless stuff. Looks like there's basically like complete every side quest, get all the chests. So exploration, collection. Story-wise, it looks like you're doing, like you fight all the way back to Don Krieg, and I wonder, it doesn't seem like it sticks to the story if you find Chopper right away, because Chopper doesn't come into play till the in the manga and anime. Chopper doesn't come in until they hit the Grand Line, but they fight Don Krieg before they go on the Grand Line. Polly. Oh, okay. Rampaging Chopper. Okay, so I guess it goes pretty far. You start off at Don Krieg and you go all the way to fighting like Aokiji. Fight a boss. I have seen some of these games like just kind of have their own sort of separate plot that's like, you know, a side adventure that they had at a certain point in forming the crew with like entirely new characters and sort of off to the side, kind of like they do with the movies. I feel like that usually works better than trying to make a game that follows the main plot, just because there's so much. There's so much main plot. But whatever. Okay, you gotta craft everything. And get all your characters leveled up all the way. Or unlock all their moves or whatever. So, okay. I guess you just get to you play with the different characters and swap between them, probably. Kinda like in Donkey Kong 64 or something. So maybe maybe it has some Metroidvania elements to it, where like each character maybe has some different abilities that let you get through certain areas. Could imagine something like that. Not 100% sure, but I think we get an idea of it enough. See, Mario Party 9 got a set. I've heard some kind of, like, a lot of people were saying this is the one they don't like, of the people I know that like Mario Party games in general. Like the one where they're all driving around in a car, they don't like as much for whatever reason. I'm not sure on what the different mechanics are, but it's a minigame game. You're gonna have probably Chivos around maxing out score in various games, minigames, probably some speedruns. You'll have to beat each board, probably in a couple different game modes. Yep. Here's your speedrun Chivos for certain levels. Win some of the 3v1s where you're the one. Score at least a certain amount of points. Finish certain ones without messing up. More speedruns. Kind of what you'd imagine with the Mario Party game. Basically just do well at all the mini games, and then, you know, beat all of the boards. Play every minigame and experience all of Mario Party 9 for 10 points. That seems underscored to be. But like there should be I mean I guess you probably get a Chivo for each one you do. So, you know, a 10-pointer for overall after getting, you know, 3s and 5s as you go. It's probably not that bad, but yeah, and then unlock everything. So there you go. If you like Mario Party, there you go. Another Mario Party. R-Type Delta on PlayStation. Hey Dom, welcome in. Hope your night's going great. We are, as usual, just kind of looking through some of the new sets. I missed a week, so apologies on that. But we're trying to make up for it. We're kind of just talking through some of these sets, looking up some of the games. Not necessarily all of them. There's like a handful that I want to play that we'll get to a little later maybe. But for now, we're looking at R-Type Delta on PlayStation. Looks like you got to beat the game on hard. Beat the game with each different type of craft. Deathless each level. Looks like you can do that in normal mode, probably. Once you see the game. And get a score of at least 750,000. So that's not too terrible, I'd say. Deathlessing the levels, of course, and a shoot 'em up. Can be kind of rough. Let's take a look at R-Type Delta. Okay, so this is one of the ones that has kind of the early 3D sprites. Still primarily 2D gameplay here, but like 3D sprites. I definitely do not love this style as much as the just straight up, you know, 32-bit 2D sprites. But not a bad looking game, all said and done. And it kind of goes almost without saying, but for a lot of for R-Type, as compared to a lot of other shoot 'em ups, you have like the little ball thing that you're carrying around, and you can like shoot off in front of you and do different things with it. And a lot of the getting good in this game is sort of figuring out what abilities are good and which ones you want for which bosses, and kind of where you want to put the ball, whether you want to sort of keep it in front of you, like directly in front of you like this guy's doing here, or whether you want it sort of out in front. There's certain bosses where you basically have to have it, you have to place it basically, and then move your craft someplace else. But it's almost more of a puzzle game in some ways than a straight shoot 'em up. Definitely one of the more interesting series as far as that goes. But anyway, there you go. R-Type Delta. If you like other R-Types, you'll probably like this one. Probably. Tairyo Chigoku is the next one here. This one is a survival horror. Tairyo... I've heard Tairyo is like Big Hall. Tai being big and Ryo being hall. Chigoku is hell. So... I'm not sure if that's That's exactly the meaning here. Look it up real quick. Tyreal. Does that mean, does that have like a homonym? Large quantity, mass production, big catch. Yeah, this is where I usually hear it. Body weight, good bag, moving out of a dormitory. Huh. Interesting. This is a Tamsoft game, so this is from the same folks that do Demolition Girl and the Party Girls and some other stuff. They have the whole Simple 3000 series, which is kind of a lot of their games are very low budget, I guess. Low budget, not necessarily bad games, but often they have sprites that don't move, you know. But some of them are pretty interesting. Hope they do a Wii set for the Calling game. It's a janky horror game, but it's neat. Well, this one is, like you said, survival horror. Almost all, well, okay. A lot of progression chivos, and then collect notes, collect hidden items. Excuse me. Hit an enemy with a broom while wearing a maid outfit. Yep. It's a Tamsoft game. There's a maid outfit. Find Senpai's classroom seat in the school. Thank you, Disney. Appreciate it. Let's take a look. See if we can find this one. This is on PlayStation 2? PlayStation 2. Yep. So maybe it's like a taking some inspiration from Alice in Wonderland. You're following around a rabbit, I guess. Oh boy. Giant wasps. Spiders? Lots of spiders. That is a lot of enemies. Well, definitely don't play this if you have arachnophobia. This is mostly about a girl having icky dreams about bugs and frogs and... Oh boy. Good gracious, that is so many enemies though. Like, why? And moths. Okay, well, that is that's pretty unique. Okay. I can see why they call it Tyreal. Big haul of enemies. Oh man. There you go. That might be Looks like quite a few people have gotten the badge for this one. This might be a fun peak streak sometime. Just silly nonsense. Definitely, I don't know. Definitely playing more on that ick factor of bugs. I like bugs. Okay. Moving forward. Resident Evil 0. I think we did talk about this one. This one's basically just a straight port, I believe, a straight port of the GameCube game. Got some time attack stuff. I'm guessing you probably have some so without using do a bunch of things without using the without taking damage, without using special weapon, within 10 seconds without using rocket launcher or magnum. So a lot of these Resident Evil games, you get some pretty crazy weapons after beating the game once or twice. They basically don't want you to use those. Stop the count! I don't have more than Draco. Well, I mean, the count is currently it's ongoing for the next week. So stop by next Monday or Tuesday, Mr. Dreamy, and maybe you'll have more than Draco. Just gotta pop in some Suikoden or something, you know. Get yourself some hefty points, and just get Draco to go after those 100-pointers only, and Rumble. Get him doing the shiny hunting. Get him distracted. You can do it. I believe. More damageless. More damageless. Don't run away. No grabs. Time attack. Time attack the whole game. Time attack the whole game. I complete the game without saving. Complete the game without saving on hard. Without using special weapons. Complete the game in one session using no weapons other than the knife. Easy difficulty allowed. And then Chivos for collecting all the guns. Get all the ink ribbons. Get all the files. Change costumes. Finish the sub modes with high ranks. Finish them on hard difficulty. Alright. So pretty much, pretty similar to the GameCube set for Resident Evil 0. If you're really good at Resident Evil games, if you already did Resident Evil 0 on GameCube, this might be a pretty free badge for you. I want to say, I think Chew did this one. Or he's talking about doing this one. Maybe not. Maybe not. Well, anyways. Moving on. We got Bust-A-Move Pocket. So, that's another Bust-A-Move game. We've seen this one before. It's also called Puzzle Bobble. Get a Chivos, progression Chivos for essentially every 10 levels. Finish speedrun the last level. Beat everybody in DS. Get to at least 25,000 points in Survivor mode. Beat a bunch of the different opponents in DS mode with highest difficulty and most rounds. So that is that's a fairly hefty set there for Bust-A-Move. This is on the Neo Geo Pocket. So there you go. You're good at Bust-A-Move. Just choose the one with better looking badge. Oh, between the GameCube or the Wii one. I mean, I don't know. You get that badge. Get a picture with both protagonists there. Versus this one. Not exactly mirror image. They have some different outfits on. But there you go. Do you like the right more or do you like the left more? Next up, we got Yakuman. So I think we did mention this one. This one's a mahjong game. Save tiles is allowed on this achievement, but is banned in every other achievement along with support and autoplay. Win a game when your non-me opponents have at least 5 stars total. Okay. Reach 32,000 points above your starting point value in the game. Alright. I'm pondering whether I should put this one up, because I do want to play this one, but it's going to take a long time to get through even one match, because you got to go all around the table where everybody gets to deal. You think you like the GameCube one? Ah, gotcha. Tell you what, we'll boot this one up and we'll play a hand. How about that? We're not going to earn any Chivos this way, but we can at least demo the game a bit rather than trying to look it up. And you know, I enjoy some mahjong. So. I think I have it set for my Monster Hunter Tri setup with the classic controller. Looks like it's gonna allow me to use that, which is cool. Alright, we'll use our me. Let's see. I think this is probably play. Okay. Internet. So use the internet. Rules. Might be able to look up hands in this one. Options. I'm not sure what all these are. Whatever. Skina computer chiarato. Computer chiarato deto tari. Kakete. So do I have to pick them or? I'm confused here. Random. Let's do random. Okay, so this would be 4 stars. I do not read kanji very well, so let's pull out some Google Lens here to help us out. It's asking which do we want. Would you prefer to play a short game or half game? Eastwind or half game? So I think the option on the right is a half game. Okay, so this is kind of like Gin Rummy in a way. So you got a 4, 5, 6, 8. Got another 8 that we just drew. Got a white dragon, red dragon, and a that's a I think it's a direction. I don't recognize which direction. That might be black dragon. We got a 1, 2, 3. I think it's a 6. Got a 1 of that, 4 of that. Okay, so I think we want to keep the 4, 5, 6 here. 1, 2, 3 there. Probably the 2 8s we want to keep. Let's go ahead and toss the 6 here. Now I've got a 5. I already tossed the 6. Let's see. Folks are already tossing out their wins. I don't know if I want to toss it. Do I want to toss out 5? Let's see here. What are our options here for buttons? B is menu, plus is sport, minus is something, X and Y or something or other. I'm guessing one of those is like, try and do a, probably take discards. Safety tile prediction, check score, no squeal. I don't know what that is. Whatever. I think we'll drop the 5. We're gonna drop the 6. Now we have a 7. Oh my gosh. We could have just kept it. We could have had a 5, 6, 7. Alright. Whatever. So you got a 9 of bamboo. Yeah, we dropped a 3 of bamboo, so I think we could... I don't know. I don't know what I want to try here. How's this discard? Eesh. Do we want to grab that one? No. No. We're not gonna phone. 8. 7, 8, 9. Man, why? Why, game? You're so mean. Alright, there's the other 2. So for our 8s, we already have all 4 are now on the table. Out on the table. Let's see. I already have 4, 5, 6 there. We need to do something with these 1 and 4. So there's already a 3 and an 8 out. There's probably more 3s in the deck. Whatever. We got a 6 now. We'll go for a 4, 5, 6. How about that? Oh, good. We got 2 of those now. The other 2 are out on the table, though. Ugh. Alright. So we only need 1 pair. Everything else needs to be, triplets. So... this kind of bites. This kind of bites. I think we're gonna have to drop these because we're not gonna be able to get a 3rd. And we're not gonna be able to get a 3rd of these, but it's better to have double of the dragons for more points. Oh, that means she's 1 away. She's already 1 away. Dang. Alright. I got 3, 4, 5, 6. We got an extra 4. What is a safe drop here? She dropped a 9. No, that's a, sorry, that's a 7? I think? 7 bamboo. So I think we're safe to drop a 7. Or 6 rather. Probably safe to drop a white. Probably safe to drop the 1 because I got the 2 out. But it wouldn't be bad to have like a 1, 2, 3. I don't see any of the rest of these. No, wait, there's one over there. One of those out. I feel like we might be able to get 3 of those. I don't think we're gonna win this match though. Ugh. We need another like 2 or another 5. Oh, we're not gonna get 2. Chi? No, we don't want to chi on that. We can reach chi with this? Hold on. This gives us 4, 5, 6. And then I guess we're waiting. Oh, I guess we're there. We would just be waiting on the yeah. We'd be waiting on either a 2 or a 5. I think. Or 7. I think a 7 would get us there too. So we actually have a lot of options here for the circle tiles. The 2, we have a very low chance of a 2 coming up. So we're probably looking for another 5. Realistically, another 5. Is that a good weight? I think that is a good weight. Alright. Please don't run me on this one. Oh. Draw. Okay, so dealer gets points on that one because nobody won. Hey, Ritter. I'm doing all right. I think that was our one hand that we were gonna play though, so we'll move on to the next game. But there you go, Mahjong. Pretty colorful version of it. Got some decent music there. I like it. I might go for the badge on this one eventually. But yeah, welcome in. We're just doing our usual RA review. Retro Achievement Review, going through some of the new games, new sets for things. I kind of skipped last week, so we missed a lot. Made some progress on Revelations of Celceta, getting close to the end. Also finished Ys 10. Nice. Congratulations, man. Alright, next game we're going to look at here is Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. So, if you've seen a lot of like the track and field type games before, they're basically mini games. A lot of them have obviously with these ones it's going to be motion control heavy. I want to say this one was not rated super well, if I remember right, but you know, it's another motion control heavy mini game. Get a Chivo for playing 100 events. Get a Chivo for playing all the events. Get a gold medal in each event. Set new records for everyone. Play 10 times with any one character. Finish chest first 5 times in the 100-meter sprint. Jump 30 hurdles with perfect timing. So yeah, basically it's going to be, you know, do great at every mini game. You know, don't miss, get it within a, you know, particular time, get a particular score, or get above a certain score. Oh, there's fencing. That's cool. And anyone had issues with YouTube videos being like 7 gigs of RAM as of late? I haven't really checked on YouTube. I mean, I'm used to a lot of things being like pretty chunky. Like right now, I can look at my mod view here, and it's grabbing about 500 megs, which is way more than it needs. Honestly, like, I don't know. So many of these applications are just getting worse and worse in terms of being less and less optimized. Let me load up a video on the side here, just to see. Do one of those music video things here. Turn off the sound. Yeah, it's grabbing like 500 megs, which is like 300 more than it needs. But hey, it's not 7 gigs. It's not efficient, but it's not that worse. That much worse. Use every Mario series character, use every Sonic series character. Get all the outfits, all the songs, unlock everything. Change your outfit, change the music. Okay, so not a crazy set as far as it goes. If you like minigame games, maybe give it a shot. So just take a look at a vid. If you can find one. Welcome back. Yeah, I was just checking out what my RAM usage was on I just picked out like a music video on YouTube, and it's, you know, it's way more than it should be. It's 500, but it's not 7 gigs. You know, it's 500 megs, which realistically, you know, playing a video on YouTube should not require, you know, more than like 200 megs or something. But like this one here is 400. We're not even like, you know, we're playing it normal playback. It's 1080p, so it's, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not efficient by any means. You know, 500 megs is, like I said, way more than it needs, but... Alright, let's just kind of zoom to some of these mini games. Is this like a clapping mini game? Oh, so just the long jump? So going back to YouTube tomorrow, you need to get ready for Secret of Mana speedrunning learning. Ah. Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for everybody's use of YouTube. I do have ad block on, and I do have a lot of extra nasty stuff blocked, like JavaScript and stuff using Brave. So that helps. You know, it's still eating 500 megs, which is like a lot more than it ought to, but. Okay, so lots of quick time events. Yeah, this is gonna require nunchuck and Wiimote and learning controls for each minigame, getting good at it, you know. Much like with Mario Party, you know. There you go. Looks like he even got some tennis. Got some beach volleyball. Looks like some soccer. A little bit of everything. Oh, looks like there's some platforming too. Well, that's not what I was expecting for a track and field game, but hey. Alrighty. But yeah, there you go. Minigame game. If you have the whole video in RAM, and maybe... Yeah, if it loaded up the entire video in RAM, I could see it being 500 megs or whatever. Get good. Yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta get good at these games to badge them. To get, you know, high scores on the events and things. Alright, next we got Sam & Max, Season 1. This is another Telltale's game. I will probably be doing one of these. Well, I'll probably be doing all of them off stream. I haven't really started this one or played it, but I will say, based on our previous adventures with Telltale games on Wii, they're all really poorly optimized. They run really poorly, very slow. And still, it's a point-and-click adventure, so it doesn't. You know, it doesn't matter that much, but the Wii control, it's... These played originally with like mouse and keyboard, and you'd move around for the most part. You'd move around the screen with, you know, like a WASD type controls, and you know, your mouse would be you'd click on things to interact with or something in the environment, or you'd click on a choice dialogue option or something like that. And, you know, they made it so that you use the Wiimote to move around and interact with things and, you know, select dialogue. So, I'm not in love with these. They're okay. They're decently well written. By and large, Telltale does not do. They did a really good job with the Back to the Future game, I'll say. The Monkey Island game falls a bit flat in a lot of parts. Dialogue is not as good. I mean, even LucasArts itself, you know, was not their PS2 Monkey Island game was not great. Fell a little flat to me at parts. Not as good as the original 2 back in the day on DOS, but whatever. This one is kind of picking up with the Sam Max stuff. I haven't played this one, so can't say if the jokes are as good, but it's another pretty joke heavy, kind of silly detective point-and-click adventure game. Didn't know they went on the Wii. Yeah, so again, this is the Telltale's game. So they got the IP, they made a continuation. They did this for a couple different series. Like I said, they did this for we already saw the Monkey Island, Tales of Monkey Island had one. Sam & Max had one. There were some Wallace and Gromit games on I don't know if they ended up on the Wii, but they were on I've got a bunch. I have a bunch of these on Steam, actually. A bunch of the Telltale point-and-click adventures, and you know, for the most part, they're pretty decent. Not as good as the originals. I think I did play this. I think I did play this one Maybe on Steam. Did I play Sam Max? I definitely played the Wallace and Gromit ones. Wallace and Gromit ones are actually pretty good, I'll say. But I don't know. There are like 6 episodes per quote unquote per season, so it's basically like 6 games, kind of. So it's not a. I tried playing the Back to the Future one as a peak streak, and that was 5 episodes. It didn't quite make it. It took about 2 or 3 days worth of 2-hour sessions. So like 3 2-hour sessions. So it just wasn't that bad, but it was like not really a peak streak per se, but it's also not super long. So if you're looking for more points for the Wii event, these are not a bad source. Mostly, as you kind of expect with an adventure game, it's mostly progress, a few missables here and there. An Easter egg. Judged by Abraham Lincoln. But yeah, more or less, save early, save often. When you're looking for some of these things. Some missables. Oof, there's a speed run. Oh no. There's a little speed run Chivo there. Clean soda popper. Anyway. But there you go, Sam Max. If you guys enjoyed the originals are great. Maybe check these ones out. But again, they do run. At least the Monkey Island one runs really terribly. The Back to the Future one didn't run great. Didn't run as well as the Steam version. It's whatever. All right, moving on. We did discuss, I think, the Famicom Disk System got a separate. It's now a separate category on the site, I believe. It's got NES Famicom. Didn't they separate out the Famicom Disk System? I remember Yeah, okay. So this one is not a Famicom Disk System game, but this is the Japanese version of Bayou Billy. It's called Mad City. It does not have all of the random buffing of enemies to make them have insane amounts of health that the American version had for reasons. The explanation I heard was because it was a rental game, and they didn't want kids to beat the game in one sitting or beat the game in one rental, so they a lot of times decreased the number of lives you were allowed per continue, or removed infinite continues, or just made enemies tankier in a lot of ways. And they certainly did that with Bayou Billy. But if you have already badged Bayou Billy, then this is basically an easier version. Easier, less tedious. So I would imagine probably a lot of my friends who have already badged Bayou Billy will probably go for this one eventually. There are a lot of Chivos here, though. So there's a lot of stuff that's damageless. There's a lot of speedrun type stuff. No dying, no picking up items. Defeat 8 helicopters. I think that's there's light gun parts of this game, so gotta shoot down 8 helicopters in the light gun stage in that one. Defeat a bunch of enemies with certain weapons. Complete a stage without ever being grabbed. It's more damageless. Get the easy ending by beating the game with training rewards. beating the game without any training rewards, and avoiding Annabelle. Up and select. Oh, Kansai Ben is the Osaka accent. Beat the game without using weapons in the beat 'em up stages. Once you see the game, beat the second loop. Hey, Rocco. Welcome in, Rocco and Raiders. Let me toss you shouty here. Welcome in, everybody. I am Baron Metz, if you're not familiar with me.
What the fuck is a Labubu?
Oh boy.
Let me look that up.
We're doing the Retro Achievement Review here, where we talk about some of the new sets that came out over on retroachievements.org. I don't know if you guys... I think you do RA, Rocco, but if you guys aren't familiar, that's my profile over on RA. It's all about, you know, like you have your Xbox achievements and your PlayStation trophies. Now you have achievements for retro systems. And they're kind of put together by gamers for gamers, to some extent. No, we're just kind of talking through some of the new sets here. There's a handful of them that I want to play that are new Wii sets over the last couple weeks. We're just kind of talking through the rest of them here. But we were just talking about Mad City, which is the Japanese version of Bayou Billy. It does have some rough stuff in here as far as the 1cc's, beating the games without getting the training stuff. But overall, from what I understand, the base difficulty of the game is it's a bit easier than the Bayou Billy version, because the Bayou Billy version has the enemies are kind of buffed up and a bit more spongy, take more hits, and so on. But anyway, on to the next one here. We got Cats on Game Boy Advance. I think we saw some of these on Game Boy Color. I'm guessing this is from the same series. Yeah. So these are pet simulation games. Kind of like the old Tomodachi. Take care of your pet. Make sure you take it out to poo. Make sure you feed it. Make sure you pet it. You probably have to... I think the really annoying part of the Game Boy Color one, from what I remember hearing, was that you had to do some pretty crazy things to unlock all the different cats in that one. Like you actually had to let some of your cats... You had to screw up with some of your cats intentionally to unlock some of the other ones. So who knows if you have to do something like that on this one. You have to upgrade their punch. That's interesting. Finish the full cycle without spending any money. Unlock all the bonding options. Get all the different snacks, all the different food. Save some money. 28 days. But most of these are pretty free games as far as it goes. There you go. Cats. Let's see. We won't worry too much about WASM games. Those are all kind of homebrews and hacks anyway. Next we got Freddy Fish. This is another game from Humongous Entertainment. I guess Mystic Software, as they were going at this point. But basically, same folks who do the trying to think, Fatty Bear? I think it's Fatty Bear, and the Putt Putt games. So this was I actually already batched this one. Pretty decently fun little point and click. Definitely aimed at a very young audience, but yeah, it was fun. It was decent fun. The only kind of sort of hard part is there is a gallery shooter section that is a little bit difficult maybe to play with the Wii Remote, as opposed to I think I was playing with the mouse and pointer the whole time anyway. So it's not bad at all with the mouse. But it does have you kind of on this, like, you have all the stuff coming towards you, but it sometimes comes along like funnels. Funnels maybe not word, but they're like, if you think of it like you're along a row, and some of those rows are actually kind of like at diagonals up, so it's kind of like a kind of curves as you go up. But when you're controlling it to move your character, it's still just left to right. So the game kind of makes you want to go like this, you know, or like that, but you really just want to do this to go to the different sections. Otherwise, you get yourself in trouble. But you can rapid fire, and you don't have any kind of limit on your throwing out food. You're throwing out food to fish or whatever, or turtles or squids or different things. But that's the only kind of tricky part of the game. The rest of it's just, you know, wander about, click on everything, you know, find one thing on one screen, take it to someplace else on another screen. Your typical point and click adventure. Not bad. Pretty fun, pretty silly. Good time. And as far as the set goes, there's really nothing too crazy in there aside from that mini game. You have to get like 250 or 300 or something like that on the score. So you basically have to play until it gets a little bit hard. Not super hard, but a little bit. Next we got Medal of Honor, European Assault. So we've seen a lot of these games. They're kind of first-person shooters. A lot of them taking place at various times and places during various World War II campaigns. Medal of Honor, typically, I want to say most of the Medal of Honor games were kind of more focused on the Japanese front, the Pacific. This one's obviously not. This one's a European one. But I always kind of preferred these ones over the Call of Duty games, but they're pretty similar. If you like either one, you'll probably like the other series. I think this one, the Medal of Honor, kind of tended to give you a little bit more freedom of movement in each like level, where you could kind of explore a bit more, whereas Call of Duty was much more on rails. Typically, kind of varies game to game. A lot of the Medal of Honor games are also very on rails, but it varies. It varies. You're gonna have to beat each level on the hardest difficulty. Get a gold rating for every mission, so that might mean a lot of headshots or just high accuracy, and or beating the level under a certain time. Maybe finding extra things. Extra little secrets and stuff. Kill a bunch of enemies with each weapon type. Kill 15 enemies in a row without taking any damage. That's really not too bad in most of these kind of games. Get 30 headshots in a single session. That's not too bad. Get 20 melee kills. Not bad. 5 enemies at the same time. That's pretty RNG. Gotta get make good use of a grenade or something. So nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy with this set. If you like Medal of Honor games, yeah, by all means, go for it. But I don't know. Oh, okay. This is one of the PS2 ones. I was gonna say the PS2 ones generally are pretty good. The PS2 ones. I have no idea how the Wii ones play, but can definitely easily recommend the PS2 ones. They're all pretty good. Oh yeah, I should have said, Rocco, you wanna tell us what you were playing on your stream when you rated in? Probably should have asked that when you first rated in. Amateur streamer. But hope all you guys are having a good one. The Precinct cop game, pretty good stream. Nice. Does that one have an RA set, or is that a newer game, or? Oh, newer game. Okay. Gotcha. It's kind of interesting. You're playing a cop game, and just the other day I was doing Police Quest for the on the Apple II for Peak Streak. Not on stream or anything, but just kind of a classic text adventure from Sierra. It was a good time. Next up here we got Deadly Creatures. This one you get to play as one of a variety of different deadly creatures, as it says on the box. It has sections like I was watching. Who was I watching play this? I think it might have been. It was Necro. Okay. Yeah, so it is kind of a 3D beat 'em up. Kind of, sorta. It also has just a lot of exploration sections going from like between fights, I guess. And yep, you go up against a bunch of different things. I don't know if you get to pick different. I think you do get to pick different creatures to play as. Okay, you got to complete each level. Looks like in a single session without any health upgrades. So no loading a save game in the middle of the level. Collect a bunch of grubs. Find all the leaf crickets. This is kind of interesting. It looks like they coded it so that it only does the check when you're saving your game for some of these things. Escape from the rattlesnake in Chapter 1 without taking damage. There's some damage listed here. Chapter 10 without taking damage. Use the save point before to start the challenge. See, I feel like action adventure games and you don't have arachnophobia. Maybe give this one a go. Next up we got 3D Pixel Racing. So another racing game. A lot of these use the Wii remote, the motion controls for sort of the gyro for turning back and forth, which is how that M&M kart game did it. I think one of the, I don't remember if it was a Lego game or one of the games Rev was playing. I remember you had to use the Wiimote to do a bunch of like various tilting things to do tricks as you went along. Something Extreme Racing, I forget exactly what it was, but that's kind of the make or break for a lot of these racing games is what are the controls like, what it's gonna ask you to do. That being said, let's see. Win a championship event with 50 points. Hard difficulty. You capture the flag event on hard. So basically beat all the modes on hard. And then it's got time attacks for each track. With specific cars though. Okay, so specific cars on specific tracks and then do a time attack. Unlock every car, unlock every track. Alright, so if you're good at racing games, might be worth checking this one out. Fair amount of people have already gotten the badge, so probably not too bad. And may not even be that long a badge. It does have the multiple modes though, so doesn't look like you have to like invest a whole ton of time though in any given mode. Like you're gonna have to do the you're gonna have to unlock all the tracks. That might require some grind to unlock every car on every track, but Not too crazy. Not too crazy. So we got Bit Generations, Sound Voyager. Alright, so this is a rhythm game, I take it? Genre other. Okay. So basically complete every level and then speed run each type of level. Let's take a look at this one. It's not really, doesn't really give you enough information to tell you what type of game this is. This is on GBA. Oh, this is a different Bit Generations game, but might be something. Was there one for? Okay, here we go. Bizarre sound game where you must find objects using sounds. This game must be played with headphones since it was stereophonic sounds. Huh. Okay, interesting. So you start out being able to see things visually, but then you have to rely on sound as you go to get to the next objective. That's kind of interesting. So, pretty unique game there. Next we got Tomina Center. So I did watch. I think I watched. Was it Sting? I think I watched Sting play this one, maybe, or maybe Benji. It's basically an auto runner, left to right, kind of like the dinosaur game or the diet girl on diet game or whatever. We've seen a couple of these types of things. But yeah, basically you're just trying to avoid stuff, jump over things, and you're going at a certain clip, and you want to get to the end fairly quickly. So if you know what you're doing, it's a pretty quick game because it's all about racing to the end. You can find hidden areas. You collect coins as you go. Get combos. So I think you kind of have to like time it when you're next to an enemy to actually like hit them as you're running by, as opposed to taking a hit. Let's go ahead and pull this one up. Just check a video of it. There were some games I wanted to play tonight myself, but this was not one of them. Not really my genre of choice. There we go. So I guess you could kind of consider it a rhythm game in some ways, but certainly this part of it at least. But yeah, I feel like you feel like these kind of auto runner games. Definitely check this one out. It's pretty silly. It's pretty silly. Fun little WiiWare game. And it's not crazy as far as the cheapos here go. You do need to, like I said, there's some stuff to find. There's some special moves to pull off, which is basically just hitting the button at the right time, coming across certain things like the tree or the Jizo statue or some of those things. And yeah, get a combo. I think you just get a combo by not missing. As long as you haven't missed, your combo meter I think is growing. So nothing too crazy there with that one. Let's see. Okay, there's another Bit Generations game. So there's Sound Voyagers, there's Caloris. I'm guessing they play pretty similarly. Alright, maybe not. Tile matching. Okay. Okay, so it sounds like this one plays quite differently. This is more of just a straight up puzzle game. Okay. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Dun. Okay, so kind of like Tetris Attack, kind of sort of. I mean, it plays a little bit differently here because you're manipulating each individual block as opposed to moving blocks around, but kind of similar idea to some of those kind of games like Tetris Attack or Pawn to Pawn, Panel to Pawn, or some of those types of things. Okay, so score at least a certain point value in each of the basic levels there, and then clear some of those advanced levels. Doing block changes only 15 times, and just clear all the levels. Alrighty. Next up, we got something I can't pronounce there. It's like German, maybe? Janosk das grobe Panama Spiel. It's probably, yep, German. I think it'd be either German or Dutch. It is an adventure game. So quite a few missables here and there. But it looks pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward little adventure game. You're looking for a treasure in the Panama. So you're doing a South American adventure. Treasure hunting. With the animal friends. Okie dokie. Game Boy Color. So I don't know if you'll need to know German for this one. You might. It might help if you don't. Next we got Power Instinct. Power Instinct 2. And here I think we're getting into some of the... Oh, no. Take it back. I was going to say, there is a Play Jam on. I mentioned it kind of earlier on the stream. I mentioned that there's a Play Jam on. And I think we're... Up here, we're getting to some of the games that were part of that. They put together... a Play Jam is kind of like a... Not quite a launch event, but sort of a continuation of a launch event, where, for the most part, with the Play Jams, what they do is they pick a console, focus on putting together a bunch of sets for games on that console, release them all together, and then if you get... you can get up to 12 points per season of these Play Jams, where every a beat for any game is 1 point, a badge is 2 points. Basically, RPGs are worth double, hacks are worth half. So you only essentially get 1 point for badging a hack. But basically, they've done Play Jams for systems that didn't have a lot of the library with sets. So they did like Sega CD. Last year, I think they did a Sega CD Play Jam. They did an MSX Play Jam, and this season it is season 9, and they are doing actually just a bunch of consoles together. I don't know exactly what the thinking was here with this. It's not really a focus on any one, but I think it's just maybe they had a kind of a backlog of a bunch of sets that they were thinking of putting together into various Play Jams, and they just ended up being kind of all over the place. So we got a bunch of stuff for Saturn, got some Sega CD stuff, got some Apple II stuff, got some arcade stuff, some MSX stuff, and of course we're still continuing to get Wii sets along the way too. That being said, I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. Power Instinct 2 here is not part of that, but this is an arcade fighter game. This is part of the, this granny. I recognize this granny. This is from the, Go Ketsuchi. Or, yeah, Go Ketsuchi Ichizoku. So, kind of like Underworld Fighting, or something like that, is what the Japanese translation is. But, Power Instinct is what we called it for the ones that did make it over here. It's a 2D fighter series from Atlas. It's not usually who you'd expect for 2D fighters. They're these are the guys that do the Megami Tensei games, and some other. They publish a lot of things, a lot of different things. But development wise, you wouldn't really expect a fighter. But it's we played a few of these. They play okay. They're not. Your characters can take a lot of damage really fast, so the fights go pretty quick. And I don't know. I never got very far when we played these. But as far as the set goes here, you get a perfect, at least one perfect. Damage an opponent with your Awakening Aura during arcade mode. Beat the game using each character. Kind of expect that. Finish an opponent 3 times with a super move. Okay, so get 3 finishing super moves with each character during a playthrough. Defeat a pig and a duck. Win 5 rounds while transformed into young Ome. That's right. The granny can transform herself. She's kind of a vampire or something. I don't know. She has a super young mode. I think some of the other fighters here have other transformations. Beat the game on hardest difficulty, and then once you see the game. So pretty much as you'd expect from fighter game as far as the Chivos are concerned. Nothing too crazy here. Looks like a couple people have already got the badge for it. I feel like these are, not that I'm not much of a fighting game aficionado, so take this with a grain of salt. But from the various things that we played, I did feel like these are some of the harder. This was one of the harder series that I've tried my hand at playing as far as fighters go. I don't know if it's just because like more input reading, or just you can't cheese it as easily, or maybe I didn't discover as a good cheese. But I kind of like Street Fighter 2. That's kind of my fighting, the extent of my fighting games is I like games where you can do the jump kick and then low kick and more or less cheese your way through with just that. Which you can do that with most characters in Street Fighter 2. Anyways, but there you go. If you like fighting games, there's another one for you. Next up, we got Smuggler's Run on PS2, which I think is a racing game. Yep, racing game. Off-road racing game. Okay, so complete all the missions. Get high scores on each level. And there's a couple of side games. You have Crooks and Smugglers, Loot Grab, Checkpoint Race. So I'm kind of curious what the main gameplay is like. It looks like you're trying to make money some way or another. So it's maybe not your traditional racing game. Let's see. I'll look this one up. Let's just kind of skip forward to some actual gameplay here. Ah. Okay. So it's kind of like competitive Crazy Taxi, I think. Could be kind of interesting. So you're racing to pick it up and then racing to deliver. And get there before the other guys. Aha! And you just have to tag the other guy to grab the money. Okay. Interesting idea for a game. That could be kind of fun. It's like a little bit more complicated version of Crazy Taxi. Yeah. Maybe we'll check that out one of these days. And we got a bonus set for Battle for Bikini Bottom. This is a 3D platformer collectathon. featuring SpongeBob. Okay, so this is a bunch of platforming challenges. Collect certain golden spatulas without using springboard, without using cruise bubble, or transform into sponge ball without using cruise bubble. In less than 10 jumps, skipping the victory animation. Okay, so that's maybe like a glitch one. Without wall jumping or bubble bashing. Without pressing the timed button. Okay, so a few glitches here and there. A lot of platforming challenges. Well, there you go. If you like Battle for Bikini Bottom, and you're really good at platforming, there you go. Here's a set for you. Alright, next up we got Kyofu no Tobira, the Door of Terror. Druid. This is a action RPG on the Famicom Disk System. This is not part of the Dev Jam, but looks like maybe a Zelda-like. You have a score, so you need to clear the game with at least 1,000 points. Get all the different power-ups. Clear the game while having different curses. Okay. That seems kind of tedious. I wonder if we can look this one up. Let's see. All right, there you go. It's cool that they're getting all the Famicom games now. Yeah. I mean they had several of the Famicom Disk System games previously, as far as the as far as things go, but they've now separated them off into their own section, which is nice. And yes, they are. I think we are seeing a lot more of the Famicom games coming up where we only had the American version before, or where there were games that like this one that was Japan only. So yeah, if you like Zelda 1, this looks like is kind of a I wouldn't necessarily call it a Zelda clone, but another action adventure in kind of the same vein. Night Move on Famicom, which sounds like a chess game. It's a tile removal puzzle. Okay. Survive until round 18 A-type. Get a default score. Beat the default high score of 20,000. So get over 20,000 both A and B type. Get down to 8 tiles activated or less on round 7. Dark teal tiles don't count, or count double, almost triple. Survive all the way until round 11 in B type. Combos of up to 32 tiles. Fill the holes with at least 22. Equal number of white, light teal, dark teal, and empty tiles. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. Oops, I want to go with YouTube. Did they start doing the same with Super Famicom? I don't think the Super Famicom was a separate system in Japan. I'm not 100% on that one. I think they probably had more accessories available in Japan, maybe. But the Famicom disk system, like actually had a disk drive, right? So it was like the NES plus some extra things. So it kind of makes sense for them to separate them off into, kind of similarly to where we have the SG-1000 and the Master System separated off, even though the Master System is basically just an upgraded SG-1000. I don't know. I know they had Japan only SFC. Yeah. I mean, they had Japan only releases for PlayStation, for PS2, for Genesis, but I don't think that the the system wasn't that different. Like I don't think it was a separate console. The way the disc system kind of is, sort of. Like it. There's a lot of one thing, for instance, on the Famicom at least, is well, no, I guess that was Master System. I'm thinking on Master System they had was it MIDI? Drake would know. So the sound device in Japan for the Master System was different than they had available when they ported it over here. But I think for Famicom, at the very least, they didn't have the disk drives anymore. I think there's quite a few different accessories the options that they didn't even have available on NES. I'd have to do it. I'd have to do kind of a deep dive to check over all the differences, but I think there's quite a few. Anyway, let's take a look at this one. Oh, okay. So you have a knight that can make the move the L, like in chess, and then you have to figure out where you're gonna move to clear the board. And I'm guessing the more you hit certain tiles, X number of times, the tile goes away. Interesting. Let's skip ahead a little bit here. Okay, and once the tile gets cleared, okay. Interesting. Okay. That's kind of a unique game. I might have to give that one a try sometime. All right. We also have Electrician. Got a set. This one is a 2D platformer from Kemco. Rewire your first building. Okay, rewire the buildings without setting the speed to anything below high. Find a hidden object. Visit every alternate underground section to see the true ending and enjoy the credits. Get a pogo stick, a helmet, a boxing glove, a light bulb, some safety shoes. Rewire a building without dying. Rewire 3 buildings in a row without dying. Travel through the underground without using a flashlight. Clear 3 underground sections in a row without using a flashlight. Okay. Interesting. Let's check this out. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Uh-oh. Oh, you encounter thieves? You gotta catch Mr. Goemon. Gotta avoid the inchworms while you wire things up. I wonder if, like, in Commander Keen, you have to get 12 inchworms to gather together to make a foot to warp. Oh, they eat the wires. There you go. That's kind of cool. That's kind of a cool concept. It's got some good music too. Probably a fairly short game. Yeah, like seven worlds. Or well, I guess there's yeah, it looks like there's probably 7 worlds. And then maybe like this might be like a second loop or something. So essentially 14. Not crazy, but that's cool. I like that. Alright, next up we got Moto Heroes, another racing game. Oh, 2D platforming and racing. Interesting. Okay, get through every section. Get all the coins. Unlock all the different cars. Speedrun. One of the levels, at least. Finish scrambled eggs, otherwise in more than one egg. finish the finish line without using more than one. Alright, let's take a look at this one. Moto Heroes. This was a WiiWare game. Hmm. I like the music. Okay. Interesting. You get a bunch of different power-ups to use, so... Interesting. Alright, next up we got The Urbz, Sims in the City. So we've come across a couple of different Sims games. They are obviously simulation games, hence Sims. These ones kind of, The Sims, at least, let you play you kind of have a particular character, rather than like in SimCity where you're controlling the whole city, or Sim Tower where you're building up a tower or whatever. But you have particular characters, you can, give them careers, you can build them houses in certain ways, push them into different types of hobbies, things like that. It's kind of like a pet simulation game, only with human pets. So we saw cats earlier. Kind of the same genre in some ways. Urbz was kind of the same idea, but in a more urban setting, whereas most of the rest of the Sims games are like kind of suburbs. Suburbia. The set allows 2-player mode, but only player 1 can trigger achievements. Okay, so you can do... I'm not sure how 2 players would work in a Sims game exactly. But, yeah, basically max out all the different skills with at least one. You might have different Sims that you max out different skills with. Complete all goals in each section. Get the various jobs. I don't know if you can get the various jobs with like one Sim. Maybe you can. I'm gonna do a bunch of random things around town. Keep each of your Urbz needs above 50% over an entire 24-hour span. Oh, and you do get multiple Urbz. Okay. I kind of figured, because it'd be probably kind of rough to try and max out every skill on one character. Feed a pet. Pick up some skin. From using that epics from busting out. Here, will.i.am into your crew. Be part of at least 5 romances. Make you lose 3 enemies. Alrighty. So yeah, if you like the Sims games, give this one a go. Maybe. Pretty straightforward set, I would say. Nothing stands out as too crazy. Next up, we got a Triple Triad World Champion subset for Final Fantasy VIII. So basically, beat everybody in Triple Triad as soon as you can reach them. Okay, so this is kind of like an Oak Challenge, but for Triple Triad. You know, I wouldn't mind doing this set, because I do enjoy the Triple Triad. I do enjoy the Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII. It's one of the better minigames. I think 9's card game's better, but it wasn't terrible. There are a couple modes. There are a couple modes like random, for instance. Oof. 5 games in a row using level 5 cards or lower. Random active. Oh, 3 cards or lower. Random, same, and plus. Win a match 9-1 without you triggering same or plus. Ooh. Alright. Alright. These 6 cards on a single turn using same plus. Alright. You have to orchestrate a lot of things with this set. Oh, man. Alright. You definitely can't do this one with any speedruns alongside the same time. That's for sure. Alright. Next we got Lander. No, it's an Uzubox game. We'll skip Uzubox. All Common Rider. Rider Generations 2. So this is a beat-em-up game where you get to have all the different Common Riders up to 2012. Okay, so you don't get, would you get Blade by that point? I don't think you get Blade by that point. But you probably get a lot of the Kabuto stuff and maybe 555's stuff. Beat all stages on easy, medium, hard. Danger, climax difficulty, oh boy. Alright. 225 stage and difficulty combinations. Every stage is star mission. Get some damage lists on certain stages. Get to level 80 with any character. Max out your characters essentially. Do a bunch of double ultimates between various riders. Oh, so many double ultimates. Alright, let's take a look at this one. All Common Rider. I think there's another All Common Rider game as well. Yep. Rider Generation. So, let's see. This one, just looking through kind of quick, we got, you do get V3. Oh, you get Ichigo and Nigo. Okay, so this one, even though it says Rider Generation 2, it's got the early Riders too. This one, oh, this one's got Deno and Kiva. Dang, those are more recent than the 2010s, aren't they? This came before? Maybe not. Well, anyway, let's look up the bid for this one. This is Nintendo DS. Oh wait, the other one had no commentary. That's what we want.
緒に言っておく。俺はかなり強い。これには自分でもびっくりだ。くらえ。いただきだ。いただきだ。
Okay. This seems a little bit cheap in terms of the sprites here. I don't know. Gentleman kick? Which rider is that anyway? Punch hopper, kick puncher, kick hopper. Suba 1. So is that Ichigo? No. I think that's an ego because of the red. I think Ichigo has a... No, Ichigo has a red one too. That's right, that's right. Nigo has the red gloves. So this is... I think that is Ichigo. Anyway. Rider number 1. Hongo Takeshi. There you go. If you're a fan of the Kamen Rider games, or the Kamen Rider series, I guess, this might be interesting. It doesn't look very high quality as far as beat 'em ups go, but could be decent fun all the same, especially if you like Kamen Rider. Next up, we got another adventure game. This one's on this one's another Wii game. Monster High: New Ghoul in School. I think this was a cartoon series, maybe. So I think it might be based on a cartoon series, maybe possibly. Oh, there's 7 games for Monster High, and a lot of them are on Wii, but only one of them has a set. Okay. But yeah, I want to say I could swear I had seen commercials for this cartoon. It was definitely after my time. But anyway, looks like mostly just progression. And then just talk to everybody. Do all the side quests. I'm gonna collect all the stuff. Free Torbot from the Bell Tower. Okay. Doesn't look like anything too crazy. Quite a few people have already badged it, so this might be kind of a freebie set as well. If you're looking for relatively easy things to badge for the Wii event. All right. I'm kind of losing steam here, guys. It is 10:30. There's still another page's worth here. I did want to at least boot up some Ark Rise and play some of that, I think. Gosh, there's so much good stuff that came out, though. But yeah, I think next time we come in, maybe we'll talk some more. I'll try and be more on time next time, and maybe talk some more of the through some more of the Play Jam games here. I guess we can just quick cover the other new Wii games just so that we're caught up on those. Let's see. So we also got Zack and Wiki, Quest for Barbro's Treasure. I've heard a lot of good stuff about this one. We watched Foxy play this one a bit on Saturday. It does have some somewhat annoying sounds here and there for the main character chewing down on the chocolate bar that he seems to go on forever. But the basic gameplay is I don't know, kind of silly fun. Well, it does use a lot of motion controls, but it's basically a I always consider point and click adventure. I would say it's more kind of platformer. I don't know. Maybe I got the wrong impression from watching it. But yeah, cute game. Not super long. A lot of folks. I think a lot of folks already batched. I mean, 10 people. That's not a ton. But maybe another relatively easy badge for the Wii event. Yeah, just gonna require a lot of traveling about, finding secret treasures. Very cool. Then we got Crash of the Titans. Crash of the Titans we've seen before. This is basically it's a Crash Bandicoot game, but I think it's made by a different. I think this is a different group, right? This isn't the folks that made the original Crash games. Yeah. But it's more of a 3D platformer. There's some GBA games based on this kind of there's some GBA games that are Crash of the Titans related that were pretty bad, the ones we played, and they were okay, but they're not quite into that either the so bad it's good or just good category. They were a little on the boring side. But I have heard relatively good things about this one. I think Pulse was saying he played I think the PS2 version. I think. Yeah, it was a PS2 version. If you play the PS2 version, I think it's basically the same. I think they're kind of placed very similarly. Let's see. So you're gonna need to get relatively high combos. There's some damage lists, some death lists, some time attacks. Co-op is not allowed. Some more damage lists. Death lists. Do some things without costumes. And okay. So you will have to beat the game and collect a bunch of things in various levels without dying. Yeah. That could be kind of tough. Looks like people are getting it. Or at least some are. Yeah, nothing crazy here. Okay, you gotta do the jacking thing. The jacking monsters was in the GBA one too. Use some of those old style cheats. Big head mode. All right. So yeah, if you like 3D platformers, it does say beat 'em up, so it's gonna have maybe more enemies in it than you might usually expect. But there you go. If you like Crash Bandicoot, and you like 3D platformers, maybe give it a go. Let's check up on the other Wii games. Actually, let's do this. Okay, and then there's a case closed game. So I actually watched, who did I watch play this one? I think I watched Nikolai play this one, actually. Nikolai was in it earlier. He's already got the badge for it. So it's probably not too bad. It does have a bunch of, I would say it's mostly, I mean, it's a genre of mystery. What does that even mean? Kind of point and click adventure for most of the game, I would say. Point and click adventure / maybe a straight up adventure game, I don't know. But then it has some mini games. There's actually quite a few mini games that are relatively tough. Yeah, I think that's some of the stuff near the end here. So you got Masked Diva, curling, Holy Moly Panic Room. So there's a lot of mini games. Like there's like an arcade area where you can play a bunch of mini games, and it looks like you gotta do decently in a lot of those. It doesn't look like they're too crazy though. You know, whack-a-mole game, 50 points in a whack-a-mole game is not too bad. Yeah. Actually, do run around in the 3D world and talk to people to gather hints and crap. It was pretty neat. Arcade minigames are the worst part of the set. Yeah, please keep it clean, Nikolai, but appreciate the information. Arcade minigames are the worst part of the set. Hey, Lemons, welcome in. Good to see ya. I think I'm just gonna boot up some Arc Rise Fantasia. Okay, one more Wii game to talk about here, and I'll boot up some Arc Rise. But GTI Club Super Mini Festa. This is another racing game. How the game's treating me tonight? We haven't really been playing too many of them. I think we booted up the Mahjong game. Played some of that. I played around to that. It wasn't too bad. Actually quite like that one. For the most part, we've just been talking through and checking out YouTube vids. There's actually quite a few Famicom games that look pretty interesting. We're kind of skipping a lot of stuff just because it's getting late. I want to at least mention the new Wii stuff, but where was Famicom? There we are. Yeah, we checked out like Night Move, Electrician, Druid. Druid's kind of a Zelda-like. Night Move is like a you have like a chess piece, like a knight from chess, and you're moving around the board. You're trying to get into the heart per round, but you get more points for the more like every space starts out as white, and then it goes to like a light blue or light teal, and then a dark teal, and then it's gone. So the more you can get gone and still get the heart, which will restore all the empty panels to white, per round, the more points you get. So it's kind of a tile clearing game, I guess you'd say. Pretty neat. And then the other one we saw was Electrician. I think this one looks pretty neat too. We watched a YouTube bit of it, and you're like, you play an electrician, as you would expect, but you're like, you are kind of going up different levels of on floors or whatever, and you have various things that get in your way. So it kind of has some elements of like Wrecking Crew, but you're rewiring houses and things. You can catch thieves while you go through, sort of take on Mr. Goemon a little bit maybe. Yeah, you get points for lighting up the different rooms and getting the wires back in place. And there's monsters that will come in that you come across that will like eat through the wires, so you have to kind of time it and such. but pretty neat stuff. Tomina Center was on there. That game was fire. Highly recommend. Yeah, we were looking at that one. We watched a YouTube video of that one too. Pretty neat runner game. It's not my genre of choice. So I didn't boot it up, but we did watch a bit of it. It's pretty hilarious. Definitely in the kind of silly zany category. Might end up in the bizarre for Sark sometime maybe. But yeah, kind of like Muscle March, but 2D a little bit. I guess Muscle March is more like Simon Says, but this is more like, hit the button at the right time when you run into things to swing around a tree or, jump over an old lady. You like Sark's Bizarre? He does a good job. He's really fun to watch do some of those crazier games. Anyway, so we'll look at this one real quick. GTI Club. Complete all quests. Okay, so you get quests, not just racing. Get gold medals and everything. Get platinum medals and everything. On hardest difficulty. Okay, you get several mini games. You get bomb tag, you get prize grab, car soccer. Oh, car soccer. Oh, Foxy will love this one. We had a car soccer mini game in one of the Churro games. It was kind of bad. Okay, and then time attacks. Time attacks with specific vehicles on specific tracks. Unlock all the cars. Max out performance of any car. Equip any police car or taxi paint job. There we go. And we can look this one up pretty quick. GTI Club. Oh, so these are all minis. No, maybe not. I guess just on the front it's a mini. I was thinking. Yeah. Sometimes you come across games that are all one kind of car. Yeah, it's I'm sure Draco's gone to bed, but this last week has been good eating for racing game fans for sure. Quite a few small racing games here and there. On PS2, on GBA, and on Wii. I'm kind of a racing game guy. Not. I mean, I enjoy arcade racers every once in a while. I wouldn't say it's a genre of choice for me. I think I have some Churro Q badges. I have that M&M kart racing badge now. But not one I really care about getting a whole bunch of badges for my wall for. Like I do want to go get more of the Churro badges, but Churro's got racing, but it's not. A lot of the later games aren't primarily racing. It's more like exploration, adventure, a little bit of platforming. I don't know. But I'm probably more an RPG guy overall. RPGs, maybe puzzle games. I got a lot of Tetris badges somehow. Got a lot of Jigsaw puzzles. Picross. You've only recently found your genre, so you've been seeing what other people like. Yeah, I like to change it up. I guess I would say, like, I've done some collectathons, some 3D platformers. I've done some 2D platformers. I don't love those genres, but they're okay. Anything I don't do Kaizo. I don't think I'll ever do Kaizo. Anything that gets into Kaizo territory is like too much. But I don't know. I don't mind racing every once in a while. Puzzle games, RPGs, action RPGs. I was really big into the Souls games for a while there. Now that I'm a bit older, my reaction times aren't quite as good. I don't know. I still like Monster Hunter. A lot. I'm not great at Monster Hunter, but I like it. Kaizo's a little much. Yeah. I'm sure I probably could get good if I put the time in, but I just I don't really enjoy those as much. You like Monster Hunter? I had no idea. This is entirely new information. Yeah, I might have spent a lot of this week no-lifing Monster Hunter. Well, not so much this week. This week's just getting started. But last week, and the week before that, and the week before that, ever since Tri came out, we've been kind of maybe just a little bit of Monster Hunter, you know. Let me pull up Monster Hunter in the list here. Maybe just a little bit. Oh man. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up Arc Rise. Spectacular work right there. Yeah, it doesn't take that long to do the solo at all. I probably could, if I was just focused on the solo stuff, I probably could have done it in under 100. But we've been doing a lot of multiplayer. A lot of that's just waiting around for people to, you know, waiting around for people to come on, or, you know, trying to troubleshoot tech issues with people. Yeah, the usual fun stuff. But anyway, I'm excited to try Arc Rise Fantasia because this is from Image Epic, and Image Epic did some of the art design for let me turn this down a little bit, maybe 10%. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. But yeah, Image Epic did, I think, some of the art design for the Sekaiju no Meikyu, or Etrian Odyssey games. So I like a lot of their character designs. I like a lot of the stuff I've seen from Seventh Dragon. I haven't played any Seventh Dragon games. I have a lot of the soundtracks, and they're quite good. So they work with Yuzo Koshiro a lot. So I'm excited to try this out. Alright, that was on. Standard. Be fast. Sharpness. Okay. So back out and start, I guess. Oh, no, sorry. Yasunori Mitsuda, not Yuzo Koshiro. I think Yuzo Koshiro is involved in Seventh Dragon stuff, but this one was Mitsuda. Yasunori Mitsuda is the guy who did all the music for, well, not all, but like 80% of the Chrono Trigger soundtrack, and pretty much 100% of Xenogears. And Sugunai. Sugunai has excellent music, if you ever play that game. Airships. Classic JRPG fare. Gotta love airships. Which reminds me, I still gotta go back and play Sky Pirates? What was that game? The one on GameCube. Too many games. Too many games. Not inside. Okay. Says, I'll take care of this one. Stay back. I have no idea what the mechanics are here, but looks turn-based. Those are huge ships. Alright. Fall from this. Cutscene. I gotta say, I don't love the, I don't love these FMV graphics. They feel... I don't know. They feel a little weird. Like, the animation is not quite right or something. I don't know. It is a pretty smooth transition from animation to gameplay, though. So that's kind of neat. Too soft in the cutscene, yeah. I mean, the ships, like when it's just the ships flying, like that was cool. Is he healing the dragon? Maybe not. Oh, that stuff falling from the sky is a screensaver. It's too bright. It's so bright.
濁流は大地に帰ったわ。
助けてくれたんだよな。悪い、助かった。それにしても今の交渉術じゃないよな。歌唱術か？まさかあんたコーダーなのか？おい、あんた。
ごめんなさい。
傷だらけだな。あんたどうしてこんなところに？
あんたというのは私のこと？
ああ、名前知らないからな。不愉快だったらすまなかった。俺はラルクだ。
不愉快？何が？
何がって。
外では私をあんたと呼ぶのかもしれないと思ったの。違うならいいわ。
何を言ってるんだ？
私はディーバ。個体名はリフィア。
何なんだお前。
お前は知っているわ。しもべえの呼びかけでしょ。
ああ、もう本当に何なんだ。
もしかしたら怒っているの？
イラついてるんだ。まあいいや。リフィアだったな。とりあえず安全なところまで逃げよう。まだ濁流が出るかもしれない。
安全なところ？
確かここから南東の方にトパジオンの村があるはずだ。そこまで送っていく。助けてもらった礼だ。
そう、わかったわ。よろしく。
はあ、一体何なんだっつうの。
Oh, back to full health. That's nice. That dragon had me pretty low. Is that something? Okay. Not that way. Is this a monster?
あれは？
おい、そいつはモンスターだぞ。襲ってくる。お前は下がってろ。
私もあなたと戦いたいわ。
分かった。なら後方から援護してくれ。戦う前に一つ言っておく。協力して戦う場合は一人の時とは違う戦い方が必要になるからな。
どういうこと？
俺たちは行動力の分だけ行動できるってことぐらい。
ええ、わかるわ。行動するごとに行動力が消費されていくのよね。
そうだ。2人以上で戦う場合は全員で行動力を共有することになる。だから自分の行動力を考えてるだけでは、その代わり行動力が許す限り誰が何回行動するかは。
私は何もしなくていいってこと？
そういうこともできるが、行動した方が得になることが多いからな。全員均等に行動するに越したことはないぜ。まあ長々話してる場合じゃねえな。行くぞ。蹴散らしてやるぜ。
Okay. Okay. So you get... Alright.
頑張りましょう。
So I get... Okay, so I have 4 per round. So I can have... can I have one person attack twice? Yes, I can. Okay. Let's have him attack twice.
邪魔だってんだよ。
怪我をしているわ。
分かった。頼む。キャラクター変更ボタンでお前が誰が行動するかは。
キャラクター変更ボタンで選択すればいいの。
ああ、交渉術は使うと。それと全員
分かったわ。
蹴散らしてやるぜ。
使命のために。癒しの水よ。
あり、助かる。蹴散らしてやるぜ。
頑張りましょう。
Oh, so we get 6 for the whole round.
とどめです。もうおしまいなんですか？まだまだ頑張ります。
お前のおかげで命拾いしたよ。危うく竜災害に巻き込まれるところだった。
I don't know, it's got kind of extra scenes or whatever. The same kind of deal as like Tales games do.
知らないのか？だったらお前、あの時何をするつもりだったんだよ。
濁流が苦しんでいたから、それを鎮めてあげたの。
そうか。よく覚えておけよ。濁流が死に際に引き起こす爆発。それが竜災害だ。
濁流の爆発。かわいそうに。
かわいそうって、濁流がか？そんな風に考えたことねえな。変わってんだな。
It's a little birdie. Alright, probably take the Mandragora, because plants usually do poison.
頑張りましょう。とどめです。
こっちから仕掛けてやるか。
頑張りましょう。
MP2 of 3. So I wonder when we get... Probably just attack for now.
もうおしまいなんですか？
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's got, okay. So the magic in this game is like Final Fantasy 1. You got a map? Just laying on the ground. Okay. Got a save point. Let's see. Let's do...
使命のために。やりました。
こっちから仕掛けてやるか。
頑張りましょう。
Nope, we did not regenerate MP. I was kind of thinking, like a lot of games, the save point will regenerate your MP for you.
お疲れ様です。
そうだ。第二空挺団に俺が生きてるって知らせねえとな。
どうしたの？
俺、傭兵なんだ。メリディア帝国の。ああ、悪い。軍隊の話なんて興味ないだろうな。
傭兵って何？
国や組織に雇われる兵士を傭兵ってんだよ。んで、帝室に雇われてる俺みたいな兵は認可傭兵。
わかったわ。ラルクは認可傭兵なのね。
ああ。俺の親父もさ、俺がまだガキの頃、死んじまったらしいけどな。
そう。
って俺は初対面のやつに何言ってんだ。疲れてんだろ。さあ。
I should probably check the Achievos. Oh wait, is this not, hold on. I have a bad feeling about this. I'm not seeing achievements in the list. Oh no! Oh no, we're not getting Chivos for this. That is very disappointing. Okay. Whatever. We'll just, get to the first town or whatever.
次はどこですか？頑張りましょう。とどめです。みんなお疲れ様でした。まだまだ頑張ります。
Okay, did her MP did not come back. Darn. Fireball. I'm kind of curious why they translated that as Devil's beating his wife. I've never heard that expression before. They just called it Tenki Ame, which means like sunny rain. Like, where do they get this other phrase from? I don't know.
よくそんなんで生活できてたな。
何も知らないのかしら。でも何を知らないのかも知らないの。それで別に不自由はなかったわ。
本当かよ。もしかしてすげえ箱入りのお嬢さんとか？
箱入り？箱に入っていたことはないわ。
This has got a lot of Japanese puns. Hakoiri, I'm not sure what Hakoiri might mean sheltered, but she took it as meaning Hako entering a box, which is iru is to enter or to go in, or haru sometimes, but Hako is box. So he said she was sheltered, and she said, but I've never been in a box. So it's there we go. I think I might enjoy this game in Japanese, but I'm probably not going to enjoy it if I got the undubbed version, and when I first was looking, it supported it according to the Retro Chivos, but it looks like it doesn't anymore. I did hear that the English dub for this is pretty bad. Pretty wooden acting. So, maybe I can just get, I think I got like the US version or something, so maybe I get the European version and do patch it, maybe?
それを解析してその力を解放し様々なものに影響を与える人間がコーダーだ。お前もそうだろ？
でも私はディーバよ。
ディーバ。まあいいけどよ。お前みたいに歌で濁流を浄化するコーダーなんて聞いたことねえしな。
He didn't say calm, he said purify. 浄化する。 What was the company that localized this one?
着いたみたいだな。
I'm kind of curious.
ここがトパジオン？
Oh.
ああ、帝国の最北だ。
帝国というのはメリディア帝国のこと？
他に何があるんだ。だいたいここはメリディア帝国の領土内だぞ。
そうだったの。帝国にはたどり着けていたのね。
お前、帝国の人間じゃないのか？
私はベネトナーシュから来たの。
ベネトナーシュってプレミリア共和国じゃねえかよ。なんでそんなとこから帝国へ来たんだ。敵国だぞ。
お母様の遺言だったから。
おい、リフィア、どうした？
なんだかめまいがして。
疲れたのかもしれないな。よし、とりあえず宿に行こ
う。宿って何？
何って、宿は宿だ。泊まるとこだよ。
そこにはベッドがあるの？
そうだよ。
嬉しい。もう何日も野宿だったの。
そうか。よかったな。大丈夫か？歩けるか？
ええ。
The Eloquent Cat Inn.
ラルク、やっぱり生きていたんだね。よかった。アルス、なんでお前がこんなところに？
You see her to eat cats? Oh wait, that's a different elf.
任務を終えて帰還したんだ。だから君を探そうと思って。説明は後だ。一旦リフィアを休ませねえと。リフィアさん？
こんにちは。
こんにちは。君が濁流と一緒に飛行艇から落下した後、そんなことがあったのか。ったく、面倒なことになっちまったよ。こいつ、どうすりゃいいんだ？そんな風に言うのはやめろよ。プレミリアから我が帝国まで、女性一人では大変だったと思うよ。僕らで力になれることがあるなら、手助けしてあげるべきだろう。お前相変わらず善人だな。人が良すぎるのもどうかと思うぞ。だいたい一国の王子ともあろう男がたかが傭兵一人行方不明になったからって探しに来るなよ。親友の危機を見過ごすなんてできないさ。竜討伐は無事終わったんだよな。ってことは俺は敵前逃亡扱いか。もしそうなら契約金の残り半額は相変わらずだな。大丈夫。契約通り全額支払われるよ。そいつはよかった。命を張った甲斐があるってもんだ。僕は伝令にラルク発見の連絡を入れてくるよ。君は彼女が目覚めるまでに旅支度を整えておいてくれ。旅支度？リフィアの意向によっては彼女をどこかに送り届ける必要があるだろう。僕も同行させてもらうよ。王子が護衛もつけないでフラフラしていいのか？君が護衛してくれるだろ？へいへい、了解了解。あ、そうだ。ついでに村を回って濁流の被害が出てないか確認してくれるとありがたいな。村長なら詳しい状況も把握していると思う。市民への心配りもお忘れにならないとはさすが王子殿下だな。嫌味かい？じゃあ頼んだよ。一人にして悪いな。ゆっくり休めよ。
Alright, well, I think that's enough for this one, especially since one of the Chivos turned on. I'll have to figure that out. But I like this one. Cool presentation. I mean, the CG was a little bit soft, as we were talking about earlier, but not a bad game. Not a bad game. Has some. It's not quite like what's the game like? Bravely Default, which obviously came later, but kind of has that mechanism of being able to do multiple turns at once. It's not quite that. It's you have a certain amount of AP, and you can actually use it for one character instead of both. So that's kind of interesting. Gives you some interesting mechanics to play around with. I don't love that the magic system's kind of the Final Fantasy 1 magic system with ranked magic, with each rank getting a certain number of spells where you have to go back to an inn. It kind of sucks that your magic doesn't come back at save points. But not bad. I like the music. Obviously, I mean, it's gonna be good music. Anyway, but yeah, I'll have to find the version of this game that works with Retro Cheetos before we get too into it. But yeah, I would love to play more of this. Alrighty. Yeah, Skies of Arcadia. That was the one I was thinking of. The other airship game. Yeah. Let me I'll think about Arcrise Asia here. Switch back over to our scene. Pull this up. So this was brought over by Ignition Entertainment and or Marvelous. Marvelous usually does a pretty decent job with translation. I don't know, it's Ignition guys. Did some King of Fighters games. Muramasa. Okay, they brought over Muramasa too. That's interesting. That's the Nullaware game. Super Farm. Oh my gosh. The game is awful. Well, whatever. Yeah, I thought that's the one I was using right there. The 1.2. Is that not the one I have? Why doesn't it like it? Arcade Fantasia, USA. Oh, this is 1.1. Okay. So there's gotta be 1.2 out there somewhere. Let me see if I can, let me see what I can find. Let me see. I can probably do this off stream later. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming by, stopping by, hanging out. Hope it was useful. Get some useful information about new sets coming out. I think like I said, next time we do retro our review, we'll kind of focus on the Dev Jam games. I think we'll just go through and maybe talk through them. And I guess this one's not one. Is this one of them? No. This one definitely was. Not developed sets, we want current games. Yeah, so this is the current Dev Jam season. I'll go ahead and link that here. And there's quite some interesting stuff in here. I might do another one of these for Peak Streak tonight after stream. But I got some Apple II stuff, got some Super Nintendo, some NES, Saturn, or maybe not NES, but some Saturn, Sega CD, PC CD, Apple II. Yep. Variety of things. Anyway, I think we'll raid over to Sark. He's still working on some of those speedruns. Looks like he's got 5 to go. So let's go give him some love and cheer him on. Just getting through those. And again, thanks everybody for coming out. For Lemons, Drake, Nikolai, Cosmic, Rocco. Thank you again for the raid, Rocco. Appreciate ya. Draco. Draco's here earlier. Thanks for the resub again, Draco. Rotor. I appreciate stopping by. Dom. I appreciate all you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Be good to one another. God bless. See ya. And to everybody watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Have your